Today, I want to tell you something very simple but very powerful. Your life is a story. Every day, every choice, every small action is a line in that story. You are not just living it, you are also writing it. You are both the author and the main character. Think for a moment. What kind of story are you writing now? Is it a story full of dreams, courage, and growth? Or is it a story of waiting, fear, and regret? Some people live without direction. They wake up, go to work, come home, and repeat the same routine every day. Their story is full of blank pages. Nothing new, nothing exciting. They wait for something to happen, but nothing changes. Then there are others who decide to take control. They face fear, but move forward anyway. They try, they fail, and they try again. Their story is not perfect, but it is alive. It is full of color, emotion, and meaning. They know that every chapter, even the hard ones, helps them grow. They write with courage, not fear. You see, the difference between these two people is simple. One lets life happen to them. The other creates their own life. One writes a story of what if, while the other writes a story of, I did it. And the truth is, you have that same power. You can decide how your story will go from this moment on. In this video, we will talk about how to make your life a story worth reading, a story that inspires others, a story that makes you proud. You will learn how to face hard times, how to grow from them, and how to fill your pages with hope and strength. So, as you listen, take a deep breath and think about your own story. Every great book begins with a choice to start writing. This is your first page. Turn it with confidence. Begin your new chapter today, and make it one that you will never forget. Chapter 1. The story you are living now. Take a moment and think about your life right now. If it were a book, what kind of story would it be? Would it be exciting, full of dreams, and full of hope? Or would it be quiet, safe, and maybe a little empty? Every person is living a story, even if they don't always see it. But the most important question is, are you happy with the story you are living today? Many people wake up every morning and do the same thing. They go to work or school, they come home, they scroll through their phone, and they go to bed. Day after day, week after week, it feels the same. They say, one day I'll change. One day I'll start something new. But that day never comes. Their story stays still. The pages don't move forward. Now imagine another person who also lives a simple life. But this person wakes up with a small goal every day. Maybe to learn one new word in English, to talk kindly to one person, or to walk outside for 10 minutes. Their actions are small, but their story grows with each day. Slowly, they become more confident, more alive. Their life feels like a story that is moving forward. This is the difference between living and waiting. One person waits for life to change. The other person changes their life. One complains about their situation. The other learns from it. One fills their story with excuses. The other fills it with effort. Which story are you writing right now? Let's imagine a simple example. There was a person who felt stuck. Every morning, they woke up tired and unmotivated. They looked at other people's lives and felt jealous. They said, "Nothing good ever happens to me." One day, they decided to do something different. They told themselves, "I will take one small step today." They started reading one page of a book. The next day, they read 2 pages. After a week, they felt a small spark of pride. Their story began to change, not because the world changed, but because they did. This is how every great story begins, with awareness. When you see your life clearly, you can choose what happens next. Maybe you are tired of being afraid. Maybe you are tired of feeling lost. That's okay. Every hero starts there. The most important part is that you see it. You recognize your current chapter. You look at the truth, not to judge it, but to understand it. Your life story is not a fixed book. It's not written in stone. You can always edit it, rewrite it, and start a new page. But before you can write a better story, you need to know the one you're already living. So, take time to look at your days. What do you do when you wake up? What kind of thoughts fill your mind? Are they thoughts that push you forward or thoughts that hold you back? If your story feels boring or sad right now, don't worry. Every great book has quiet chapters too. Those chapters are where the main character starts to grow inside. This quiet time can be your moment to think, to plan, to get ready for your next big step. Remember, even when nothing seems to happen, you are still learning, still feeling, still growing. The story you are living now is not the final chapter. It's just one part of your journey. You can still choose what happens next. You can turn your story from tired to inspired, from lost to found, from waiting to acting. But that change begins with honesty, being real with yourself and saying, I want my story to be better, and I am ready to begin. So look at your life like a writer looks at a book. Maybe some chapters are painful, some are calm, some are full of joy. Each one has value. Each one has a reason. The question is, what kind of story do you want to write next? Remember, you don't need a big moment to start changing your story. You just need a small step, a small thought, or a small act of courage. One kind word, one new habit, one brave decision. That's how new chapters begin. Take a deep breath and think. Today is part of your story. How will you write it? Chapter 2. The Power of Choice. Every story has a moment when the hero must make a choice. A choice can be small, like saying hello to a stranger, or big, like starting a new job or moving to a new city. These moments may feel scary, but they are the turning points in every life story. Without choices, a story is flat and predictable. With choices, a story becomes exciting, meaningful, and full of growth. Think about a person who is afraid to try something new. Maybe they have always dreamed of learning English better, speaking confidently, or starting a small project. But fear stops them. They think, what if I fail? What if I look foolish? What if I cannot do it? So they stay where they are. Their story continues, but it is the same chapter, day after day. They are safe, yes, but their life feels empty. They feel the sadness of waiting. They feel the frustration of not moving forward. Now imagine the same person decides to try, even though they are scared. They take one small action. They speak to one person in English, or write one idea down, or take one step toward their dream. At first, it is difficult. Their heart beats fast. Their hands may shake. But then something changes. They realize, I can do this. I am capable. That small action opens the door to new opportunities, new experiences, and new confidence. Their story begins to move forward. They are no longer a passive character. They are the hero of their own life. This is the power of choice. Every choice matters, even the small ones. Saying yes to learning, yes to kindness, yes to effort, yes to courage, each choice builds your story in a new direction. Saying no to fear, no to doubt, no to excuses, that also changes your story. Think of it like a fork in the road. One path is safe and easy, but it leads to the same place, day after day. The other path is harder, it may feel uncomfortable, but it leads to growth, joy, and pride. Let's look at another simple example. A person wanted to make a new friend, but they were shy. They felt nervous about speaking first. For weeks they thought, maybe another time. But one day, they said hello. That hello led to a conversation, then laughter, then a new friendship. One small, brave choice changed their story in a meaningful way. If they had waited, nothing would have changed. Living by fear creates a story that is safe, but quiet, predictable, and sometimes lonely. Living by courage creates a story that is exciting, meaningful, and inspiring. Every time you choose courage, even a little, you give yourself a chance to grow. Every time you choose kindness or effort, you make your story richer. Every choice, no matter how small, can become a turning point. So today, think about your choices. What small action can you take that scares you a little but moves you forward? Maybe it is speaking to someone new, sending a message you have been afraid to send, or starting a project you have been putting off. That small choice can open doors you never imagined. That choice can make your life story exciting and full of purpose. Remember, the hero of every story is not perfect. The hero is brave enough to choose again and again. You do not need to make huge choices all the time. Even one choice each day can change your story over time. Choose growth, choose kindness, choose effort, and choose self-belief. That is how you write a story that matters, a story worth reading. Chapter 3. The Hard Chapters. Every great story has hard chapters. These are the moments when life feels heavy, when challenges appear, and when we are tested in ways we never expected. They are not easy, and they are not pleasant. But these chapters are important. They give your story depth, meaning, and strength. Without hard chapters, a story is flat. It has no lessons, no growth, and no moments of triumph. Think about the heroes in famous stories. They face obstacles, pain, and fear. They fall down many times. Sometimes it seems like they will never succeed, but the struggle is what makes them strong. It is what makes the reader care. It is what turns a simple tale into a story that inspires millions. Life is the same. The storms, difficulties, and moments of doubt are what shape your character. They are what make your story worth telling. Contrast this with someone who faces difficulty and gives up. Maybe a person dreams of learning English or improving their life. They try, but the first challenge feels too big. They think, it's too hard. I cannot do it. They stop. Their story ends before it really begins. The pages are left blank, full of what could have been. It is safe, yes, but empty. There is no growth, no confidence, no pride. Now look at the person who faces the same difficulty but chooses to keep going. Their hands may shake, their heart may feel heavy, they may feel tired and afraid, but they continue. They learn from mistakes. They rise after failure. Slowly, step by step, their story changes. They grow stronger. They gain wisdom. Their life becomes a story that others can learn from. Their struggle gives their story meaning. It is no longer a simple tale. It is legendary. Even small struggles matter. A difficult day at work, a hard lesson in school, a fight with a friend. These moments can feel painful, but they teach patience, resilience, and gratitude. When you face these challenges, remember, the storm will pass, but you will be stronger because of it. Each challenge you overcome is like adding a golden page to your story. Each lesson you learn adds depth to your character. Let me tell you a simple example. A person wanted to speak in public, but every time they tried, they felt nervous and embarrassed. They stumbled over words and felt like giving up. Many people would stop after one failure. But this person chose to try again, each day a little braver than the last. Over time, they could speak clearly. They could share their ideas with confidence. That hard journey became part of their story, a story of courage and growth that inspires others. Hard chapters also teach gratitude. When life feels difficult, we learn to value the simple things, a kind word, a small success, or a moment of peace. These small victories become bright spots in your story, reminders that even in struggle, life is beautiful. So when you face challenges, do not fear them. Do not see them as punishments or signs of failure. See them as opportunities. Each storm, each setback, and each challenge is a chance to grow stronger. They are the chapters that make your story unforgettable. Remember, giving up makes a story end too soon. Facing struggle with courage, patience, and persistence turns a story into a legend. Every hard chapter you overcome is a page filled with lessons, strength, and pride. Your story matters. Your struggles matter. And the choices you make in hard times will define the life you are writing. Chapter 4. The people in your story. No story exists in isolation. Every life, every journey is shaped by the people around us. Friends, family, mentors, teachers, even strangers, they all leave marks on our pages. Some marks are light and beautiful, and some are heavy and dark. The company we keep can make a story full of hope and inspiration, or it can make it slow, sad, and hard to read. Think about someone who spends time with negative people. These are the people who complain, who gossip, who always focus on problems instead of solutions. Day by day, their influence adds doubt and fear to your story. You start thinking, I cannot do this. I am not enough. Things will never change. Slowly, your life story becomes heavy, boring, and full of fear. You may even begin to doubt yourself, and your courage fades. This is the power of influence. It can shape your thoughts, your feelings, and your choices. Now imagine someone who surrounds themselves with kindness and support. These are the people who cheer for your small victories, who encourage you to take risks, who listen when you need to speak. They share wisdom and guidance. Their presence makes your life brighter and your story richer. You feel stronger, more confident, and more motivated. Each day with them is like a page in your book, filled with warmth, hope, and growth. Let me share a small story. There was a person who was shy, quiet, and afraid to speak up. They felt invisible in school or at work. One day, someone smiled at them and said, "I believe in you. You can do it." It was a small act, just a few words, but it changed everything. That encouragement gave them courage. They began speaking more, trying new things, and helping others. That one act of kindness became a turning point in their life story. It was proof that one person can inspire another just by being a positive presence. This is why your role in other people's stories matters too. Just as others can lift you, you can lift them. a kind word, a helping hand, or even a smile can change the direction of someone else's life. Every action you take can add meaning to your story and theirs. Being a positive character does not require great power or wealth. It only requires empathy, attention, and courage to act. Contrast the difference. A story surrounded by negativity and gossip often feels heavy, dark, and stagnant. It slows the hero down and drains their energy. A story surrounded by supportive, kind people feels alive, exciting, and full of possibilities. It pushes the hero forward, gives them confidence, and opens doors they never imagined. Choose your company carefully, but also be mindful of your influence on others. Be the friend who encourages, the mentor who guides, the person who shares a smile or a kind word. The more positivity you add to the lives of others, the more strength and meaning you add to your own story. Remember, life is a collection of chapters, and people fill the pages with words, emotions, and lessons. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, who help you grow, and who make your story worth reading. And be that inspiration for someone else. One small act can ripple through a story, transforming it from ordinary to unforgettable. Chapter 5. The Lessons You Learn. Every story teaches something. Every chapter, every moment has a lesson hidden inside it. Sometimes the lesson comes through success, when we try something new and see the results of our effort. Other times, it comes through failure, when we make mistakes, face problems, or lose something we care about. Both success and failure have value. Both are necessary. Both help the hero of the story grow. Think about someone who ignores the lessons in life. They make the same mistakes over and over. They promise themselves, "I will do better next time." But they do not reflect. They do not learn. Their story becomes a cycle of repeated struggles, frustration, and regret. Each chapter feels heavy, and they feel stuck. Their life story loses meaning because the hero is not growing. They stay the same, and the pages feel empty. Now look at someone who chooses to learn from their experiences. When they succeed, they celebrate, but they also reflect. Why did this work? What can I do even better next time? When they fail, they do not give up. They ask themselves, what lesson is here? How can I use this experience to grow? Each success and failure becomes a stepping stone. Each mistake is a teacher. Each lesson adds depth to their story and strength to their character. Let me share a simple example. There was a person who once tried to start a small project. They were excited and worked hard, but it failed. They felt disappointed and thought about giving up. Many people would stop there, letting the failure define them. But this person did something different. They reflected on what went wrong. They asked, "What can I learn? How can I improve?" Over time, they applied those lessons and tried again. The next project was better, stronger, and more successful. That failure became a foundation for growth, not an end. What seemed like a mistake became a strength. Their story gained depth, and they gained confidence. This is how life teaches us. Every chapter, no matter how simple or difficult, contains knowledge, wisdom, or understanding. Sometimes the lesson is patience, sometimes humility, sometimes courage. The important thing is to notice it, reflect on it, and apply it. Each lesson is a tool for the hero of the story, that is you, to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Contrast the difference. Ignoring lessons keeps the story flat and repetitive. full of regret and wasted opportunities. Reflecting and learning turns the story into a journey of growth, transformation, and meaning. The hero becomes wiser, stronger, and more inspiring to others. Life is not just about what happens to you. It is about what you take from it and how you use it. So, when something does not go as planned, do not feel ashamed or discouraged. Look for the lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? Even mistakes, failures, and difficult experiences have value. They are part of your character development. They add layers to your story, making it real, honest, and inspiring. Remember, in every story, the hero learns. That is what makes the story worth reading. Each chapter, each experience, gives you knowledge and strength. Each lesson builds the person you are becoming. Every page matters, every experience matters, and every moment teaches you something important. Chapter 6: The Dreams That Move You. Every great story has a dream. A dream gives the story direction, energy, and meaning. Without a dream, a story can feel lost, slow, and empty. The same is true for life. A person without a dream may wake up every day and go through the motions. They may feel tired, confused, or bored. They may wonder, why am I here? What is the point? Life feels heavy when there is no dream to guide it. Now imagine someone with a dream. It does not have to be a huge, impossible goal. It can be simple: learning a new skill, speaking English more confidently, starting a small project, or helping someone each day. Even a small dream gives life direction. It becomes the light that guides every step. When a person has a dream, they feel alive. They wake up with purpose. Even on hard days, the dream gives hope and energy. It keeps the story moving forward. Think of a person who has no dream. They watch life pass by, waiting for something to happen. Days and weeks go by, and they feel frustrated and empty. Their story is filled with what-ifs and regrets. They compare themselves to others, wishing they could have more, do more, or be more. Their story feels heavy because it lacks direction. Now contrast that with someone who has a goal. Each day, they take one small step toward it. They may write one line in a journal, study one new word, or practice one skill. Each small action adds up. Slowly, the dream becomes closer. Each step builds confidence, pride, and excitement. Even small progress makes the story feel alive. The person feels hope, energy, and joy. Their story has movement. They are the hero who keeps pushing forward. Let me share a simple example. A person wanted to speak English more confidently. At first, they felt nervous. They were afraid to make mistakes. Some days, it seemed too hard. But they wrote down their dream. I want to speak English clearly and confidently. Each day they took one step, practicing a sentence, reading a short paragraph, or talking to a friend. After a few weeks, they noticed change. They could speak more fluently. Their confidence grew. The dream was no longer far away. It was becoming real. That one small dream gave purpose to each day, even on difficult mornings. Dreams give your story energy. They give you something to wake up for. They give you courage when life feels difficult. And the beauty of dreams is that they are flexible. You can adjust them, expand them, or refine them as you grow. The important thing is to start. Write your dream down. Keep it visible. Take one small action every day. Believe in yourself and in the possibility of your dream. Contrast living with a dream and living without one. Without a dream, life feels slow, empty, and unsure. With a dream, life feels alive, moving, and exciting. The hero is motivated. The story has purpose. Every small step matters, and each day is a chance to move closer to something meaningful. So, start today. Think about what moves you. What do you want to create, learn, or achieve? Write it down. Take one small step. Celebrate that step. Keep moving. Your dream does not have to be perfect, and progress does not have to be huge. What matters is that you keep going. A story without a dream is like a river without water. It stays still. A story with a dream is like a river flowing toward the sea, alive, powerful, and unstoppable. Let your dream move you. Let it guide you. Let it give energy to every page of your story. Chapter 7. Turning the Page. Life is full of pages. Some are bright and joyful. Some are dark and painful. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes things do not go as planned. And sometimes we carry the weight of the past for far too long. But here is an important truth. You can always turn the page. You can always start a new chapter. It is never too late to rewrite your story. Many people hold on to the past. They think about mistakes they made, opportunities they missed, or words they said they wish they could take back. They feel regret, shame, or anger, and because they hold on to these feelings, their story becomes heavy and stuck. Each new day feels like a repeat of the old story. They are trapped in chapters that no longer serve them. Their life feels paused, and hope seems far away. Now contrast that with someone who chooses to turn the page. They see the past, but they do not let it control them. They forgive themselves for mistakes. They forgive others for pain or hurt. They let go of regret and fear. And then they take a small step forward. That step is the beginning of a new chapter. It is a page filled with hope, possibility, and courage. Even small steps can feel like a new story is beginning. Let me tell you a simple story. A person failed an important exam. They felt disappointed and thought their dream was over. For days they stayed in sadness, thinking about what went wrong. But one morning, they decided to turn the page. They told themselves, "I can learn from this. I will try again." They studied a little every day. They asked for help when needed. Slowly, they improved. When the exam came again, they passed. That failure became a lesson, not a prison. Turning the page allowed their story to continue, stronger than before. Turning the page is not just about big failures. It can be about small things too. A fight with a friend, a bad day at work, or a habit you want to change. Each time you let go of what no longer serves you and move forward, you write a new page. Each time you forgive yourself or someone else, you create space for growth and happiness. Each time you start fresh, your story gains energy and hope. Contrast the two approaches. Holding on to the past keeps the story heavy, sad, and stuck. Learning, forgiving, and turning the page makes the story light, moving, and inspiring. The hero of the story is brave enough to leave behind what cannot be changed and to focus on what can be created. That is strength. That is wisdom. That is hope. It is natural to feel scared when turning the page. Change can feel uncertain. You may wonder, will I fail again? Will it work this time? But remember, each new page is a chance. Each day is an opportunity to write something better. The past does not define you. What matters is what you do now. What matters is the courage to begin again, to step into the story with a fresh heart. So, take a deep breath and imagine your life as a book. You can close a page you no longer need. You can write a new one. The pen is in your hand. You can add hope, courage, kindness, and growth to the next chapter. You can decide what your story will look like from here on. Turning the page is a choice to forgive, a choice to let go, a choice to begin again. No matter how many times you stumble, no matter how many pages you wish you could change, you can always start fresh. Your story is not over. It is waiting for you to continue, waiting for you to fill it with courage, wisdom, and hope. Chapter 8. Writing with Purpose. Every story becomes stronger when it is written with purpose. Living with purpose means that each day has meaning. You are not just moving through time, waiting for life to happen. You are actively creating each chapter. You do things that make sense, that bring joy, and that help others. You make choices that add value to your life and to the lives of people around you. Many people live on autopilot. They wake up, go through their routines, and go to bed without thinking about their actions or their impact. Days blend together. Weeks and months pass, and they feel as if nothing has changed. Their story feels flat, repetitive, and empty. They may work hard, but it is work without focus. They may help others, but only when convenient. Their story lacks the spark that makes it inspiring. Now think about someone who lives with awareness. Each day they make small but meaningful choices. They plan their day with care. They help at least one person. They learn something new. They say thank you. They notice the beauty in small moments. Their story becomes full of color, energy, and joy. Every page feels alive because the hero, you, is writing it with intention. Let me give an example. There was a person who felt tired and unmotivated. At first, they just did what was necessary. They woke up late, rushed through their day, and complained about problems. Their story felt heavy. Then, they decided to try something different. Every morning, they wrote down 3 things they wanted to do. They said one kind word to someone, learned one new thing, and reflected on one small success. Slowly, they noticed change. They felt happier, more confident, and more connected to the world. Their story began to shine because they were living with purpose. Living with purpose does not require big actions. Small, consistent efforts create big results over time. Saying thank you may seem simple, but it strengthens relationships and spreads positivity. Learning one new word or skill may feel small, but it builds knowledge and confidence. Helping one person may seem minor, but it can create a ripple effect of kindness. Each small choice, repeated daily, adds up to a meaningful life story. Contrast these two approaches. Living on autopilot keeps the story repetitive and dull, like a machine going through the motions. Living with awareness makes the story inspiring, motivating, and full of life, like a hero who shapes each chapter with care. Purpose is what turns ordinary days into extraordinary pages in your story. Purpose also helps during challenges. When life feels difficult, knowing why you do what you do gives strength and clarity. A person living on autopilot may feel lost during hard times. A person living with purpose finds direction. They know what matters and can take small actions to move forward. Their story does not stop because of obstacles. It grows stronger because of them. So, start today. Plan your day. Help one person. Learn something new. Notice the good things around you. Reflect on what you did and how it made you feel. These small actions create momentum. They turn ordinary moments into meaningful chapters. They make your life story worth reading. Remember, purpose is not something far away or impossible. It is in every small decision you make. When you live with intention, every day becomes part of your story. Every action adds meaning. Every choice makes your life richer, brighter, and more inspiring. Your story matters. Your actions matter. And when you write with purpose, you are creating a life that others will admire and learn from. The final chapter. Make your story worth reading. Now we reach the final chapter. Not the end of your story, but the moment to see the whole journey clearly. Think about everything we have talked about. Awareness of your life, the power of your choices, facing hard times, the people who shape your story, the lessons you learn, the dreams that move you, turning the page when needed, and living each day with purpose. Each of these pieces builds the story of your life. Each moment is a page waiting to be written. Your story is not finished. You are still the main character, and you still hold the pen. Some chapters are already written, some bright, some dark, some full of mistakes, and some full of joy. But many pages are blank, waiting for you to fill them. These blank pages are full of possibilities. They are waiting for courage, creativity, kindness, and action. They are waiting for the hero, you, to take control and make them unforgettable. Think about the contrast we have seen throughout this journey. Some lives are lived without purpose, full of waiting, fear, and regret. Other lives are lived with courage, action, and awareness. The difference is not luck or talent. The difference is choice. The difference is showing up day after day, learning, growing, and being brave enough to write your story intentionally. Remember the chapters we explored, the story you are living now. Look at it honestly. The power of choice. Even small decisions change everything. The hard chapters. Struggles teach strength, patience, and gratitude. The people in your story. Surround yourself with positivity and be a positive force for others. The lessons you learn. Every mistake or success builds your character. The dreams that move you, give you direction and hope. Turning the page allows you to start fresh when life feels heavy. Writing with purpose transforms ordinary days into meaningful moments. Each of these lessons is a tool. Each of these ideas is a way to make your story extraordinary. Let me share a small story to bring this together. There was a person who felt their life was ordinary, even dull. They had faced struggles, mistakes, and doubts, but one day they decided to change their story. They reflected on their life, made small choices to grow, pursued a dream they had ignored, helped others, and took one brave step every day. Slowly, their story transformed. Not because life was perfect, but because they were intentional. Their life became inspiring, to themselves and to others. That is the power of writing your story with love, courage, and heart. Your story matters. You have the chance to make it meaningful, not only for yourself, but for everyone who sees your life unfold. Each action you take, each lesson you learn, each act of kindness you share adds to the pages of your book. One day, someone may read your story and feel inspired to write their own. That is the magic of living intentionally and courageously. So, take a deep breath and look at your life as the most important story you will ever write. See the blank pages as opportunities. See challenges as lessons. See your dreams as your compass. And see yourself as the hero, brave enough to write with purpose, courage, and heart. Start today. Take one step, make one choice, learn one lesson, or help one person. Each action is a word, a sentence, a paragraph in your story. Over time, these small actions create chapters filled with hope, courage, and inspiration. Your life is waiting to be extraordinary because you are the one who writes it. Your story matters. Write it with love, courage, and heart. Because one day, someone will read it and be inspired to write their own. Thank you for spending this time with me and exploring the story of your life. Remember, your life is not just a series of days. It is a story full of chapters, lessons, dreams, and choices. Every day, you have the chance to write a new page, to turn a page you no longer need, and to fill it with courage, kindness, and purpose. Now it's your turn. Take a notebook, your phone, or even a piece of paper and write down one small step you will take today to make your story better. It could be learning a new English word, helping someone, taking one brave action, or simply reflecting on what matters most to you. One step may seem small, but it is the beginning of something great. Each step adds to your story, making it richer, brighter, and full of meaning. If you want more guidance, inspiration, and English practice while learning how to live a meaningful life, join our community at Read and Learn English. Here, you can improve your English skills, discover motivational stories, and learn practical lessons that help you grow every day. Don't wait for tomorrow to start your story. Start today. Take control. Make your life worth reading. Your story matters, and the best part is that you are the author. Click subscribe, join our journey, and let's learn, grow, and create inspiring stories together, one chapter at a time. Your life is waiting. Your story is waiting. And together, we can make it unforgettable.